So this is a part of the story that every Logic fan knows. You let him stay in your basement for a year.
That's right, man. Yeah.
A lot of people probably wouldn't have done that.
It's
I,
crazy.
I, I have friends, and I don't know if I had a basement, I don't know if I would let them stay there. So what made you extend this hospitality to Bobby?
Well, from the first time, all right, so we met that night, and then the second time we hooked up, I went over to his sister's house, and he played me a bunch of records, man. He had hundreds of songs in his library that he recorded. Some like the same verses, different beats, like, whatever, but he had like hundreds of files already. And I was just like, I was thrown back by a lot of the stuff. I was like, this is dope, man. Like, you see potential all over it. Like, and me just wanting to keep creating and like finding inspirations and figuring things out, musically, really drove us to become friends and hang out. So I was just super impressed with him, you know, with his artistry and what he was doing, you know, just that second meeting, when we went and hung out that second time. And he would come over to my house and we would jam out and just hang. And man, we just developed a friendship, man. It was crazy. Like, he eventually would have other shows and I would go see him, you know what I mean? And be like, it'd be just him. And then it would be just me and him, you know what I mean? He'd do these other shows and it'd just be me and him. I'd scoop him up and we'd go to the show, and I think having my presence, as an older person and a bigger person, like, gave him a lot of confidence to step up and like accept some shows and stuff like that. And, I guess those are like almost like the bodyguard days.
Yeah.
But, instead of just him walking in by himself, having me there, helped him, want to go out and feel comfortable and secure, you know what I'm saying, to go to these shows and do his thing and stuff like that. So it was some fun days, interesting days. And then, after that, I started learning he showed me about Wale, and I had no idea. Like, I was so disconnected from hip-hop at that time. I was just on some other stuff. And I had no idea that, like, hip-hop was alive and well, like, doing great on the internet. And, like, there's these dope artists, and especially, like, such a dope local scene in D.C. With a bunch of dope artists. And, yeah, we started learning more about that and, figuring out social media. It was just like an adventure, man, and at the same time making music and critiquing music and just, so we really built our friendship on that, and I'm the type of person where I don't really have friends per se. Like, if you're my friend, you eventually become family. You know what I mean? Like, every best friend that I've had, they end up knowing my sister and my mom and my brother. You know what I mean? And just, really hanging out, cookouts. Everything is that's just how I roll. It's not. So it's kind of like a natural thing. My family is very open and accepting to people. So yeah, he found that welcoming because he came from just being raised by a single mom, and I have this huge family. Like, I have 14 cousins, you know what I'm saying, including my siblings, and a bunch of aunts and uncles. So yeah,
This is refreshing for him.
yeah, it was like a whole different world. Like, and it made me really realize how blessed I was to have that. You know what I mean? Like, have my own community. You know what I mean? Like, and I was able to figure out life through that because there's so many different personalities, you know what I mean, that I'm close to, and we all support each other. So yeah, it was, got real close.
So basically, you just got close, and then you were like, okay, you could stay.
Yeah, well, at first he had to move out of his sister's house, and
Was it a falling out or?
yeah, a little falling out, and he had some trouble there, and she just, she couldn't do it anymore, and he moved to his godmother's house, Mary Jo, and he had no place to set up the studio. Well, I was just renting a house with my mom, and we had this big house, a big open basement where I had like all my drums and everything down there. That's where I would jam out at, and we talked about it, and we decided to just set the studio up at my house. That's where we were hanging out anyway, and he would come through. For weeks, we did this for months actually, where I'd go to work Monday through Friday evening on the way home, I'd scoop him up because my office was up where he lived, and I would scoop him up, and then he just crash Friday night, Saturday night, and record everything he wrote. You know what I mean? And like, I'd just be there to critique or talk about things, and like, watch him create and write, and yeah, man. So we did that for months, and then tragedy struck my family. My brother passed away suddenly, and I was going through that, and we weren't hanging out as much, So eventually he moved the studio up to his godmother's, and was rocking there. My brother passed suddenly, and we didn't lose touch, but I just went. I wasn't there. He was being respectful, and I was just being with my family and stuff. So for a few months, and then he moved the studio to Mary Jo's house and was doing his thing. And I would, touch base with him, and sooner or later, things were almost back to normal as far as us hanging out. And it was like a blessing that I had a friend and a hobby like that, because I was able to almost escape. You know what I mean? Like it's something to put your time into, and a friendship that was just like kind of budding with Logic, where we weren't, we didn't grow up together. He knew my brother, but it wasn't like, we weren't attached. We weren't as close yet. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like something I needed, where I can go and hang out and hang out with my homie that is kind of outside of that family circle. You know what I mean? We had only known each other for about 6-7 months at that time. So it was like a blessing, really, but through that we definitely got closer, because he saw how close we were and all going through all that, and he was definitely like there for me as much as he could be.
Yeah.
Somebody in that position. But sooner or later, his time ran out at his godmom's house, and we had a talk, and I invited him to come stay. We had the room, we had the space, and yeah, man, that was it. He was there.
Mm-hmm. How was that year? Was it was it different? Because being friends and then moving in together, I think there's a
big difference in dynamics. Yeah, absolutely, man. And what even made it crazier was, few months after he moved in, my brother and his fiance moved in. So now the house is like full.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And we all working stiffs. Me, my brother, and his fiance. We were 9-to-5ers, and my mom was tired. You know what I mean? And Logic's just home all day. Making music. And she loved Logic, and like, they'd have lunch together and stuff when we're gone. And my mom was just always that type. She was just, if it was our friends, she'd like invite them to the movies, bring them to dinner, let them stay the night, no problem. She's so relaxed like that. Like, she's just a very welcoming person. And Logic's, it's just he's a charming, nice guy. Very polite, very
nice.
Got his stuff together, knows how to treat people. So my mom took to him really quick, and it was like another little son there. Just like all my best friends growing up. So. But when my brother and his fiance moved in and started getting cramped quarters, and it was a time. It's definitely tension moments. You know what I'm saying? Just like any roommates and stuff. But all in all, it was fun, man. It was good. It was. I look back, I really cherish those times of just like not knowing what everything is gonna bring, but we're working to it, and we're devoted, man. Like every extra dollar I had, you know what I'm saying? If I can, get either props for a video or, gas money to go to shows, and, you know what I'm saying? And, of course, like, just feeding, paying rent and stuff like that. But, like, we were, and on top of that, just energy, man. Like, I would go to work, and I would come home, like, yo, what'd you make today, you know what I mean? Like, and he's playing records, and, we're talking things out, and we're figuring out the industry. It's exciting times, man,